Well, we're here today with what many consider, and myself personally, the greatest mayor of the great city of Henderson, Michelle Romero. Mayor, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm honored, Your Honor, to be able to do this with you today.
Well, same.
Yeah, even though we know each other pretty well. I still had to do my notes.
Okay.
All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to let people know what you've done for the city of Henderson and the people there and everything. Because there may be some people, I doubt it, that don't know. They're not fully aware. But you started your career with the city of Henderson at what year?
1991.
1991. She's been around for a while.
I have.
Yeah. What did you start out at?
I was an office assistant 2 when I started.
Office assistant 2 to the mayor of the city. Now that's dedication, that's hard work, that's doing the job the right way. You did some programs for the city, or you were involved with some programs before you were a city council member.
I was the redevelopment manager for the city of Henderson. So my job was to focus on the older parts of our city and make sure that they had the investment and amenities and things like that the newer parts of the city had. So we were able to create programs that helped homeowners fix their homes up. You know, a lot of the population there were elderly or lower income. They didn't have the means to be able to do some of the things. So we had programs that helped them be able to fix up their homes. We had programs for businesses where they could do facade improvements. If you haven't been to Water Street lately, you should go.
It's nice.
It's really, really nice.
Yeah.
But, even 10, 15 years ago, you could shoot a cannon down Water Street and nobody would know. There was nobody there. There were no businesses to speak of, or very few. We had some great couple here and there, but it was just totally inactive, not a lot going on. And through those programs, we were able to incentivize businesses to come and make that investment. So we did things like, fixing up the front of the building or offering programs to help offset the costs. Oftentimes when you build in a redevelopment area, it's a much higher risk than if you were building in a more active part of town. And so redevelopment is intended to mitigate risk and to help reinvest into older areas. And so we were able to do that very successfully.
I remember the days where, like you said, you could shoot a cannon down there and no one's going to even know, to what it is now. It's a complete metamorphosis. I mean, it's amazing. And you got to be really proud.
I am very proud of Water Street.
Good.
I'm proud of the team that helped create it.
Absolutely. And see, that's what I like too, is you have a team and you recognize that team and you get more done that way.
Yes.
And as long as I've known you, I don't see an ego. And I respect
try not to
that.
have. I have a very big family that keeps egos in check.
Yeah. How many kids do you have?
I have 4 kids, 11 grandkids.
That keeps you in check.
It does keep you in check.
What's in the future as far as what you're planning or what you want to get done?
So the city has a very healthy strategic plan, and we stick to that plan. That's something that Henderson is extraordinarily good at. We have 5 strategic priorities within that plan. It's public safety, economic vitality, quality education, healthy, livable, sustainable community, and high-performing public service. And everything we do falls under those categories. That's how we prioritize projects. That's how we prioritize funding. That's how we stay on track and we don't get distracted by some of the other things happening in and around our area, and we keep focused. And it helps us grow in a way that is manageable. In past decades, we had double-digit growth. It was extraordinarily difficult to stay on top of that and to keep our city the premier city that it is. Now it's about 1.6 to 1.8% growth, and it's much more manageable. We can manage our infrastructure, make sure it's keeping up. We can manage our resources and people and do everything we can to keep up with that growth.
What you just said is what you ran on.
Yes.
Yeah. And you're doing it.
Yes.
That's basically unheard of nowadays. So kudos to you. That's outstanding.
It's really a testament to we have 3,000 employees at the city. I would pit them against any employees across the nation. Wow. They are phenomenal.
You stand firm on your commitment to the city and the people there.
Yes.
And like I say, that's rare nowadays. You look around, it doesn't really happen that often.
Well, the right thing to do is not always the popular thing to do. And sometimes it's hard to stick to your guns, but we try to do that on a regular basis.
Let's talk about veterans.
Okay.
All right. Near and dear to my heart.
Yes.
But your husband is a veteran.
He is a veteran.
What was he in?
He was in the 61st MP Company in the Army.
Spoke like a true veteran spouse right there. You know all these things,
Yes.
and that's good. I know you've set up a number of programs for veterans, but you started something that I don't see anywhere else. Can you tell us about that?
When I first decided to run for mayor, we have 25,000 veterans that live in Henderson, which is an incredible amount of our population. And from our own experience, I know that it's difficult when you get out of the military, and sometimes even when you're in the reserves, or when you're in the military, it's sometimes difficult to assimilate back into, just non-service. And it's hard to know where to go for answers, where to go for help. And a lot of times, you don't want to ask for help.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to get together a group of legitimate, vetted groups that help veterans. And I felt like there are so many groups out there. Not everybody knows who they are, and they don't even know, what each other are doing. And so I created a veterans forum that is the Mayor's Veterans Forum. We meet on a quarterly basis. They all work together so they know what each other are doing. They know when they've got something coming up. They know when there's a new population of young veterans that they need to target and make aware of the family that is there. We just were talking earlier, when you're in the military, it feels like a family. People are looking out for you. If you're spouse or your significant other is sent off to training and you're there by yourself and you have something that you need, you can count on a military wife or a military spouse to come help you. You can call them and help. And then when you get out, that just kind of suddenly stops in a lot of cases. And people are at a loss as to where to go for help or what to do or what benefits they're eligible for. And so I wanted to make sure that we had the ability to make sure people knew what that was. So we've also dedicated a page on the city's website strictly to veterans, and it points them in the right direction depending on whatever topic it is that they're looking for.
You answered so many questions right there, because a lot of veterans don't know.
Right.
And that's what you're doing is, I watch, trust me, I really see what's going on, and my hat is off to you.
Thank you.
I mean, you were there at our Day of Gratitude we had at Legion Stadium,
Yes.
and you're going to be coming next time too.
Yes. The last one was spectacular.
Wasn't it amazing?
It was incredible.
Yeah.
It was such a positive, uplifting feeling. So many families were helped. It was just all positive.
This next time, it'll be the 250th anniversary of America.
Yes.
And it's going to be even bigger.
Yes.
It'll be twice the size.
That's awesome.
So, yeah. Thank you, Mark Davis and the
Yes,
Raiders. Absolutely.
exactly.
Yeah. We talked about the priorities you had in your campaign: public safety, education, health, and those are happening. And how are they going from when you first started?
They're going very, very well. I mean, Henderson just received the nation's highest award for performance excellence in any type of organization. It's called the Malcolm Baldrige Award. Only 5 recipients got it this year, but only 5 cities in the entire history of our country have ever received it. And we are the largest city to ever receive it. Wow. In fact, tonight at our city council meeting, we will be receiving that award officially. And it's again, a testament to the level of employees that we have at the city, our commitment to using data to make decisions, our commitment to continuous improvement, always looking, no matter how well you're doing, there's always room for improvement. And they are constantly looking for those opportunities. And it's reflected in this award. It's given by the President of the United States, and Henderson is the recipient.
Wow.
Yes.
There's one thing that I saw, and it was about your dad.
Yep.
Okay. The question was, who do you look up to and whose example would you like to follow and why? Your response hit me hard, because I thought you were talking about my dad. And that's rare. I don't hear that. I mean, as many people as we talk to, have you ever heard somebody say the things, what you said about your dad?
Not very often, because he was very unique.
Yeah, I think it makes us who we are today. Tell us about your dad.
So oddly enough, his birthday was Sunday. He passed almost 8 years ago, but his birthday was Sunday. So particularly top of mind this week. I miss him a great deal. He was always serving others. no matter what was going on in his life. When I was growing up, we always had somebody over at the house to eat. Somebody needed something, they stayed out in the trailer in the driveway. He was always fixing a neighbor's roof, doing their yard. If it didn't matter, nobody had to ask, but he was always doing something for others. And I have 3 brothers and a sister, and he was always drilling into our heads service. You've got to be of service to others. You've got to give back to your community. You've got to put in more than you get out. And he didn't do it by talking about it. He did it by living it every single day. And my mom is the same way. I could have just as easily switched mom and dad. Mom, fortunately, is still here, and she's still of service to others.
Nice.
No matter how hard it is for her to get around or her health issues, she is still driving people to appointments or going shopping for them or whatever. And they just set an incredible example, not only of a great marriage, but they were married for 53 years,
Wow.
but also of how to prioritize things in your life that truly matter, and how to make how to tell the difference between what truly matters and what just is fluff.
I truly believe we are what we live. All right, and to have parents like that, again, it's rare. It's helped
Blessed
you.
beyond measure.
Yeah, absolutely. And look how you're basically running the city of Henderson. Those same principles. We'll end on this question for you.
Okay.
What legacy would you like to leave?
I would like to leave the city better than I found it. And I found it a long time ago. I was born here. So, and it's changed so much since I grew up. When I was in high school, which admittedly was a very long time ago, but there were about 40,000 people living in the city of Henderson, and we now have over 340,000. I had a great life growing up. I had great opportunities. The city itself, through employment, provided me with a great career, and it's just given me so much. It allowed me to have a great career and be a mom, be an involved mom. And it has provided a great place for my grandchildren to grow up. Most of them live here. And so I want to make sure that my grandkids and your grandkids and whoever else is who live here are proud to call Henderson home, that there are amenities for everyone, that they feel safe in their communities, that they have opportunities for education, unlike any place else in the country, that they have medical, that they don't have to fly out of town to get, because it's so great here. And those are all the things that we're working on.
Residents of the city of Henderson, you've got to get out and vote. She's going to be running for re-election. When's the election?
June of 26.
Next year. Get out and keep what you have now and make it better. Vote for her. Mayor Michelle Romero. There is no other choice. Mayor, thank you so much. Appreciate you so much. That's all we have for today. You're going to see her again because we're going to have her on some more podcasts. And also in Veterans World Magazine, you'll see plenty of articles about her. And we'll keep it going.
All right.
Because you're amazing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Everybody have a great day. Thank you.